welcome back to another episode of the Caffeinated Librarians. Today we have a very special episode as it is our holiday episode. And joined with me today, we have actually two new faces, which aren't new, but they are appearing on the podcast today.
Hey.
All right,
This
I'm
is Joe.
Yeah, I edit for them. They let me out of the dungeon, so nice to meet you guys.
This is Lewis, but you know him already. He stole the show when we were doing Harder They Fall.
I did.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm still very comfortable in front of the camera.
So for today's episode, we're going to be doing a little mix here. We will, maybe be chatting about some of our favorite holiday films, but also I have prepared a game for the three of you.
Would you like to play a game?
Yes. I love that reference.
Now, are we referencing Saw or Scream?
I went Saw.
Right? Yeah,
I went Saw on that
Scream
one.
is what's your favorite scary movie?
Yeah, but she said, but I want to play a game or something like that. It was at the beginning, which you
Does
very
he play that?
Yeah.
Does he say that? I believe
No.
it.
Scream bored me. I'm not gonna lie.
I love
Scream is great. Scream's
Scream is-
classic.
yeah.
But these are not holiday films. They are holiday in October. They are not holiday here.
I think the second Scream was at Christmas time, wasn't it?
Oh.
Scream 2.
No, that was when I was at the college
They were on the
campus.
college, yeah.
All right, never mind.
And Cotton Weary was there.
Yep.
I don't.
And the
Showing up, trying to interview.
Yeah.
with
The killer was the guy from Justified.
Which
sorry.
guy?
Spoilers.
Oh, I love that guy, the cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's his name in real life?
Timothy the Elephant?
There it is, yeah.
God,
Nice.
Cowboys.
By the way, we have some movie gurus here today. These guys know their movies.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
So I hope
appreciate
that they
it.
I
know
can
their
live up to
movies
that.
enough to get this quiz right.
As I know nothing about the Hallmark movie quiz that's about to happen.
So before we get into the game and we get into some more of our festive little fun talks, we want to remind the residents of Mayapack and those coming to the Mayapack Library that we will be closed tomorrow and on Friday.
Sunday.
Sorry. We're closed, as today is the 24th when this drops. We will be closed on Saturday and Sunday.
That's how dedicated we are. We're here on Christmas Eve.
Yep.
Instead of being
Yes.
with our families.
Yep.
I left my 3 kids at home.
Mm-hmm.
They're-
No electricity.
Yep. No
It's a
food.
blizzard.
They don't need it. This is more important.
Yeah, podcast.
The life skills they'll learn
Yeah.
is the real message of Christmas all along.
I told the other one to start the fire for the little ones.
All right. So, I have prepared a game for you, and for those of you who are in the Mayapack area or will come to the Mayapack Library, you can play along to this game at home as well. I have printed out packets for you all if you guys are interested. You can find them at the circulation desk with the questions, and you can play along whenever you want to the video and tally up your score, and please leave an either in the comments, let us know on social media, or come tell us in person how you did. I have faith in all of you, as I do not know many of these myself, but I found them to be quite funny. So, without further ado,
Yes.
well, the music didn't play. What? So, the game is it a holiday film? Now, mainly these are Hallmark holiday films. I will be reading you the plots to several Hallmark films, and you will have to guess if they are real or fake.
Is this a PowerPoint?
Yes, it is.
It's very en vogue this week.
Yes, it is. I had a teacher that was very, very on my butt about PowerPoint presentations. So the first one. A marketing executive is visited by the ghosts of 4 of her ex-boyfriends and realizes she might also have a thing for her friend.
Real.
Real.
Fake.
This one's called like a
Ghost of Boyfriend's Past or something like
E
that.
or something.
Wow.
What?
You guys are so good at this.
How'd you guys know that? Oh my goodness. All
We
right.
just destroyed the mise-en-scène.
Sorry, yeah, gotta calm it down a little bit.
So yes, this is the Hallmark movie Boys of Christmas Past.
Oh.
Next question. Ashley is a marriage counselor who is always unlucky in love herself. She starts counseling an older couple who look a lot like Mr. and Mrs. Claus. While helping them save their marriage, she falls in love with their son, Caleb.
Caleb Claus?
Caleb Claus.
Fake.
Yeah.
No, this is real because you wouldn't have made up Caleb.
You don't know my plushies at home.
I just don't know the name of this movie.
I'm going with Blue.
Well,
Yeah!
it is a
all
fake
right.
film.
Very clever.
I do name a lot of my stuffed animals like George and
In
Frederick
post, you
and
should put the
stuff like that.
scores on the bottom or something.
Oh, yes.
I
definitely.
have one of my cars. Name's Reginald. So I would come up with a nickname.
Very good.
Reginald. Alright, let's see.
Over Christmas, 2 TV hosts who love to bicker off screen are sent to the little small town of Mistletoe. As they pretend to get along for appearances and get to know each other more, they discover that they may have been wrong about each other all along.
Fake.
Sounds like a
Real.
Debbie McComber book.
Fake. There's no way, because that sounds like it's going to end poorly for them, and Hallmark movies don't end poorly.
I'm feeling good about this one. Town called Mistletoe feels like the exact kind of thing these movies go for.
Real.
Imagine if that's the title, Town Called Mistletoe.
All right, locked in answers. What do we got?
I'm
Fake.
saying
Real.
fake.
Real.
It is a movie called Good Morning Christmas.
That's horrible.
Good Morning to Christmas?
It's just Good Morning Christmas. Because they're on like a show called like Good Morning, and so I don't know.
That's terrible.
When Lucy wakes up with a wedding dress in hand, she believes that she is late for her wedding with her ex-boyfriend Zach. However, she has no recollection of the past 2 years, including the fact that she is engaged to another man. With Zach's help, Lucy sets off on an adventure to fill the gaps in her memory and finds old romantic feelings reignited during the Christmas season.
Sounds like a spin on that scary Nicole Kidman movie with Mark Strong and Colin Firth, I think, where she can't remember everything and Colin Firth is like, "I'm your husband."
That seems to be a
I
constant
didn't know
trope
that
with these
movie.
kinds of things.
I was thinking about that.
Lewis, you cannot look these up.
Who's that in that Lucy
No.
Scar? Is it ScarJo?
That's not this could not possibly be a Scarlett
No,
Johansson
the movie Lucy, when that girl has access to 100%
and she
of her
becomes
brain.
like a flash drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope when she gets her memories back, she gets all the brain powers.
Extra powers. This seems fake.
I'm going fake also.
Yeah, I'm going fake.
I don't have faith in any of these.
It was actually Christmas on my mind.
You did it to me again.
That's terrible also.
That's a bizarre title.
I will say, I did watch a Hallmark-ish Christmas movie last week called The Castle for Christmas on Netflix.
That was the one that was supposed to be really big this year
It's
too. Everyone kept talking about it.
It is pretty big. It's pretty cute, actually. I liked it, to say. And it's Carrie Elwes,
Carrie Elwes.
Wesley
I used to say
Princess
Yules.
Bride.
I used to say Yules.
And
for
Brooke
some
Shields.
Oh, I thought Yules was right. I thought that was
Carrie
reason.
Yules,
Was
yeah.
too, but everyone kept saying Elwes.
Oh.
I know
Let's
my
go
boyfriend's
Yules.
mom watched the live script reading of like Princess Bride, and I think they said Elwes, and I was like,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
my life is a lie.
For the spirit of the holiday, we'll call them Yules.
on my mind.
All right. Beth and Will both hate Christmas music, but the record label they work for assigns them to write a brand new Christmas hit. Sparks fly as the two make music and gradually fall in love with each other and with Christmas.
God, I mean, it just seems it's such an easy thing to make a real movie.
I know!
But I don't know it. I'm gonna go with real.
Fake.
Fake.
Y'all are really reaching into the depths of your brains. It's like, man. It is in fact fake.
Yes. Ooh. 2 for 6.
Am I
I
winning?
think,
or
I think
losing?
I've said fake for every one of them. Because
Oh
they all
man, we've
sound
not been
ridiculous.
keeping score.
You know, it's okay. We all know that we've never seen these, and we probably never will.
We have
Not to say that they're not fun.
For every one we get wrong, we should have to watch them.
What if they're not real?
Then you don't have to watch them.
Very good.
Very good. In the height of the holiday craziness, Christina gets back a DNA test and learns that she's actually Jewish.
Fake.
This leads her down the path.
Don't even bother. Fake.
This leads her down the path of self-discovery, even finding romance along the way.
Okay.
You know, I'm going for the wild card. Why not? Let's say it's real.
So I've got two fakes and a real.
Mhm.
is actually a movie called Love and Hanukkah.
That's ridiculous.
And it has
Hey,
the guy from, like, what is it, Even Stevens?
Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World, yeah.
That's a savage.
She said Even Stevens.
You know, I didn't watch these shows. I knew he was from some show.
You didn't watch Boy Meets World?
I didn't watch Boy Meets World.
It's
As a
great.
kid, I was a cartoon girl. I was not a live action fan. But yes, this actually exists.
Wow. Alright, I have to just go against my instincts.
Toy store manager Holly loves all things Christmas. When the owner sends his Scrooge son Henry to modernize the store, a clash is sure to ensue. Holly tries to convince him to join forces with her to save Christmas for the local shelter.
Real. Real because it sounds ridiculous and horrible.
Real. They love naming characters Holly.
Since I'm behind on the cards, I'm just going to go with fake, just to try and...
It is fake.
Wow.
Yes.
Ben's got one. Yes.
The one time I don't go with my gut. Although I wasn't right on the other ones, I guess, either. Fair enough.
It's okay. It's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Who's keeping score? I'm feeling very competitive.
I'm sure I can watch this.
I think you're in the lead.
You might be.
I
Yeah.
think I'm not. I think you're in the lead. but-
Really? Okay.
I'm definitely
Keep
not.
track of your guys' score.
How many questions have you done? Because I've gotten
20.
No, how many questions have we done so far?
You know, I don't know.
Oh, because I've gotten 2.
I'm just having
correct.
fun with your guys' reactions, in all honesty. But you guys should be tallying up that.
I'll make a nice winner screen.
Very
Yeah.
good.
There you go. There you go. You're all winners in my eyes. Two friends from high school reunite to sell his uncle's Mexican bakery, known for its famous gingerbread cookies that grant wishes, and end up wondering what they're really wishing for.
Gotta be fake, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fake.
I'm going to go real.
This is Gingerbread Miracle!
They don't even look Mexican. Can I say that?
Yes! Because I had the same thought.
Jesus.
Those are wasps, right? Like,
Hallmark is just
Yeah.
really mailing it in.
They're appealing to a certain demographic only.
Their pro tags are pretty blonde girl.
Yeah.
Those are brunettes with the same like little curled hairstyle on the bottom.
It's like if you have Civil War reenactment stuff in your basement, you're watching Hallmark movies.
Alright, a high-powered attorney finds herself in a moral conundrum when she must represent a large corporation that's threatening to build on the land used for a small town's Christmas fair.
Real.
real.
Real, yeah.
That was fast.
That sounds real. Anything with a lawyer.
It was actually fake.
Come on.
It's a
That was-
common trope, but that is not the correct plot for them.
Well, I think we all get a buy on that because it was a vague slug line there.
Maybe.
Editor,
Sure.
give us a buy.
Alright. Two police detectives go undercover as a married couple to solve a sting of heists. Their prime suspect, the chair of the town's Christmas committee.
Fake.
This sounds a little too exciting for Hallmark, so fake.
Real.
Exciting. Have you not seen their like all their Christmas movies tend to be on like this mystery channel. They have like mysteries.
Wait, they have like Hallmark mysteries?
Yeah.
What?
It's
They
a
said
whole
fake. I said real.
Fake. Definitely
Yeah.
fake. Oh.
The Santa's Steakhouse with actually one of the
Steakhouse?
Stakeout. I'm
No.
hungry.
That's the Hallmark movie we're gonna make.
Yeah.
The Santa Steakhouse.
That would be a
You
vibe.
should. It's
Steakhouse.
all
Or we
close.
just
All
catch Santa and
Santa's
cannibalize him.
Oh
That's
no!
not a Hallmark movie. That's just a B-rated horror movie.
That took a turn that I wasn't expecting.
I mean, you did have that movie competition, so you know.
Mhm.
Thoughts for next time. Thoughts for next time. But yes, but it has one of the Mallory sisters in it from like Sister Sister.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if you ever wondered what they were up to, now you know.
And that guy.
I feel like it's
Heather.
the same guy in all of these.
Heather, a beautiful and gifted professional bassoonist, is dreading a lonely Christmas in Bulgaria,
Nope.
where she's traveling to perform with the Philharmonic. However, when the Baron of Bulgaria spots her during a solo performance, Heather's holiday gets much more exciting.
This sounds more like a porn.
Fake, and I'll tell you why. Because not even Hallmark would stoop so low as to make up a place called Bulgaria.
Yeah, I gotta go with fake.
I think it's actually a real place.
I'll go with fake.
I think
No
I
way.
looked this up. I think so. I don't know. You could look up Bulgaria if you want.
I'm going to look
I've been
up
to
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria, but I've never been.
Been to Bulgaria.
I've been to Bulgaria.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know if it's
It's
really
the
not.
vulgar
We're gonna go with
areas
fake.
of Bulgaria.
It's a Hong Kong comedy film, Bulgaria.
Okay, never mind that.
So yeah, we're all fake.
It is a fake. It was a fake out. Madison, a conservative young Michigan woman, desperately wants to vote in a local election, but a snowstorm is making it hard for her to get to the polls. When a handsome young truck driver helps her along, she thinks she may have found the one, only to find that he's a Democrat. Can the Christmas spirit help them see past their differences?
Fake.
I'm gonna go with fake
Too
because
political.
Election Day is not near Christmas.
Yeah. And it's too political for
Who
Hallmark.
says they're voting for president? Who's not to say they're voting for like a Christmas council?
Election
Christmas
day is the
Council?
same year.
Voting is important no matter what it is, Joe.
Election day is the same at the same time every year.
I'm gonna have to go with fake.
Yeah, fake. Definitely fake. We're getting good at this, guys.
You guys are
just
getting
warmed up
them.
now.
You guys are getting them.
Yeah.
Yes, that was fake. Molly worries that she's falling in love with two different men.
Real.
Josh, a widower, who recently moved to town, and one of her clients. But what happens when she discovers that they're actually the same guy? I love Ben's face every time we get these ones. He's just...
Do you
But
mean...
is this like a you've got mail situation where it's one's an online relationship?
Maybe she just has face blindness.
Oh,
I'm gonna go with real.
She doesn't know that they're both the same guy?
no.
Because he wears a hat one day and then the other day.
He's like Clark Kenting the whole thing. I don't know. Maybe they talk on the phone.
I mean, you know what? Just for fun, I'm gonna go with real.
Yeah, it's
Because I need
definitely
to.
real.
Know, I need to know if this is.
Oh, not real.
It is Deliver by Christmas. Yes.
Okay.
This is the guy that would have had a career if Bradley Cooper didn't exist.
He kind of looks like a dumbed down Bradley Cooper. He's the stunt double. He finally got his own movie. Oh no. A secret agent must abandon his romantic Christmas ski chalet to embark on a dangerous time-bending mission to prevent the ghost of Christmas past from destroying Christmas as we know it.
What beef does the Ghost of
Fake.
Christmas Past have?
Fake.
Have
Yeah,
you
the
never
Ghost of
seen
Christmas.
A Christmas Carol? Ghost of
I
Christmas
have.
Past is one of the... It's his, little child.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't
Okay.
destroy
He's
anything.
still
I'm
got
gonna say fake,
Fake.
but I wish it were real because I'd watch that.
It's like James Bond Christmas
Yeah,
special.
exactly. That sounds awesome.
I'm gonna say real. Why not?
It is
Aw.
fake.
Yeah, it's too bad. Come on,
Hallmark, they're
Hallmark.
missing some opportunities.
Yeah. Copyright that right now.
All right. It's the most wonderful time of the year because Santa's divorce is finally official. It's December 26th and Kris Kringle's officially off the clock. Fun, flirty, and single for the first time in over 1,700 years. Kringle is the most festive bachelor on Santa Swipe. But the North Pole's jolliest resident meets his match when he encounters Ann T. Halliday, a former record executive turned city council zoning expert who informs Santa that his permits have lapsed.
And then
Wait.
they fall in love?
Maybe.
There's a whole dating app just for Santa?
You know, I wouldn't doubt it. If they're
Didn't you ever
actually-
see Bad Santa? There's a whole thing for Santa Clauses.
SantaCon just happened too, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
was last Saturday.
They
Right?
actually did? Santa Con?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'm going with real.
I'm going with fake.
I want to say fake, but I'm going with real.
It was fake.
I think I'm running away with this.
Yeah.
How many more we got? Because I
I don't think
feel
there's
like
that
we're
many more.
tighten. Yeah, we're
5 guests are mysteriously invited to an inn to celebrate Christmas. With the help of the owner Ben, Sarah discovers that an event from the past may connect them and change their lives forever.
All of these could be horror films,
Fake.
They really,
right?
really
Yeah.
would.
Fake Hallmark, real horror.
But I wouldn't do that to you. Although the one about the Christmas like going and like, you know, time travel ending adventure was actually based on Back to the Future.
I'm going real here.
Fake.
Real.
No, yeah, I'm going real also because you've done a couple fake in a row. I don't think you're going to do it again.
You'd be correct. This for us to come home for Christmas.
That looks like
Time for us to
Lauren
come.
Boebert.
This was actually a Blake Shelton Hallmark Christmas film.
Wow.
Is that Idris Elba in the middle in the background?
No, it is not because he's too good for Hallmark.
Agreed, he is.
But Blake Shelton, I think, wrote and directed this, if I'm not mistaken. He's done a couple, apparently.
Truly a Renaissance man.
Except when he made that, you know, song with Gwen Stefani, because, you know, I absolutely...
Which song was that?
We don't talk about it.
Are they still married?
Yep.
Fortunately.
Good for them.
Yes. She gave up Gavin Rossdale for Blake Shelton.
Who's
Well,
Gavin Rossdale?
let's be fair. She didn't give up.
Gavin Rossdale is the lead
Rossdale.
singer of Bush.
Gavin
Oh,
Rossdale had a tryst with the nanny.
Oh.
He's hot.
As rock stars do, yeah.
He also played one of the demons in Constantine. He played the guy with the
The fingers?
coin.
Oh.
God, he was so cool. I love that man. Alright. A magical pair of shoes transports a woman to Christmas past, present, and future to help her take new chances and discover the true spirit of Christmas.
True. Real.
True.
Magic shoes?
Fake.
Real.
A shoe addict's Christmas?
Oh, hey, we were talking about her last time.
Is that
Candace Cameron, right?
Is that Candace
Oh.
Cameron Bure?
You know, I don't know any of these actresses or actors.
She's
They
like-
all look the same. And I
They're
refuse
she's
to
like the
watch
queen
any of
of
these movies on
Hallmark.
principle. But I know my viewers love them. This might be the last one or the second to the last one. All right. A woman must find a way to reverse the Christmas curse set upon her after cheating on her fiance with a man in a Christmas sweater.
So good. I want to say real. So good.
It's gotta be fake.
I would
right?
watch that one.
It's definitely fake, but I.
Oh,
Please be real.
I'd watch the hell out of this.
Please
so
be
I would
real.
watch it. We should make it.
He like never took off the sweater during the tryst.
Never.
Yeah.
No.
I need to
the
see
sweater
that.
stays on during.
Yeah.
That's how he's able to curse her.
Say
Maybe it
real.
was the sweater that cursed her. The sweater saw it all.
Say real. Ugh.
Mistake.
We'll make it real.
Yeah, that's next year's holiday competition movie.
Yep. Yes.
When reports of Santa sightings go viral online, a plucky but cynical news anchor takes it upon herself to debunk them.
Real.
Real.
So,
Fake.
it's fake.
Retaining the
You
lead.
know, I will say, is that the last one?
This might be the last one.
I will say I know Hallmark movies as much as I thought I did. Let the numbers speak for themselves.
It's funny, I was looking at the plots of some of these ones, like, stop it. Like, some of these actually came out this year
Mm-hmm.
versus the past. I looked at ones that came out this year, and I was
Well,
like, they come out with like 50 new ones a year.
Well, they film these movies in like 16 days. Like they can crank out a lot of them. There's not a ton of production value going into them or
And
anything.
they start showing them in October, and I'm
Mhm.
just kind of like, no. I'm like, this is spooky month.
Exactly.
Make some spooky movies. Hallmark doesn't have many.
The
'Cause they
clock
don't believe in
strikes
Halloween.
midnight on Halloween into November 1st, then you can start your Christmas movies.
I say after Thanksgiving, 5 o'clock on Thanksgiving, you're allowed to do whatever you want at that point, because it's over, it's done, it's shopping time. Get in there.
Did I win? Oh.
A middle child tries to change the course of events when he realizes that his horrible Christmas day keeps repeating itself.
Is this Krampus?
No horror movie!
The end of Krampus?
That's not a Christian thing. It's not on Hallmark.
All right. I'm gonna go with fake.
Real.
Real, definitely real.
Pete's Christmas. It's kind of like Alexander and the Horrible No Good Very Bad Day, but
Ground.
Kind of like
and Groundhog Day
Groundhog
with
Day,
Christmas.
yeah.
And that is actually the end of our game.
Good job,
I
congratulations,
look forward
Ben.
to finding
Ben
out who
definitely
won.
I think Ben did a grand slam and great job.
I think I deserve something for this mastery
Can have a
A
cookie.
cookie.
of the genre. Oh, thank you. I win. I will. I'm just not taking my mask off.
Do
But I
you
will eat
want
those.
do you want the tinsel? I got tinsel. You want the
I'll
tinsel?
think about that.
Okay.
We still have another half hour in the podcast. I'll decide by the end what I want.
That actually went by faster than I thought it was. I hope everyone is going to enjoy the game. Please play it at home. As I said, let us know how you did. I want to know. I want to know if I tricked you all,
Now,
which I think I thoroughly did.
you did well. This was
Yeah.
actually, I was more engaged than I ever thought I would be with
Yeah.
something like this. Especially because when you hear the pitches of the movies and you're like, people think of this and then make money.
You know, I
doing it.
didn't come up with any of these, to be fair. I saw a bunch of people, and there's so many quizzes online.
Mhm.
I took a couple from them, but then I went on Reddit, and I actually asked a bunch of people to come up with some plots for me.
Now, as far as the next round of what we're doing here today, I've somehow made it so I'm not clear. Are we doing best of 2021?
No, it's our
Holiday
holiday
movies?
Holiday
movies. Our next episode, we will be talking about our favorites. Since it'll be the
Ah.
start of a new year,
Okay,
or the end of the year, and then we will reflect upon the movies we have watched.
sweet. So top 5 holiday movies?
Go right ahead. You got top 5, good top 5. I mean, do
I'm
you guys
following
have
your
your
lead.
lists ready? I mean,
You're the-
Joe's
Yeah,
pulling out his
yeah.
phone.
It's all up here where it's safe.
Yep.
I've never
Steel
forgotten
trap.
anything in my life.
All right. For number 5, I just wrote down the Rankin Bass Christmas specials. You know, the claymation ones, Rudolph. We're
Jack
talking,
Frost.
Yeah,
Yikes.
yeah. We're
Scary.
talking the good ones and the bad ones, all right? Because the good ones are like, oh, this is so lovely, and you look at all the textures of everything, and it's the coolest thing in the world. And then the bad ones feel like you've had like a terrible, terrible dream. Like, have you ever seen Rudolph's Shiny New Year?
Oh yeah.
Don't mess with Rudolph's Shiny New Year. That is,
He teams up with Ben Franklin.
heck yeah! The baby New Year keeps like going into the hands of something, and it's just like, and Rudolph's like, I don't know what this baby's talking about.
Then there's the
Hallmark
giant
esque
evil vulture.
What?
Yo, the vulture was the best.
Yeah,
he was
no,
such a
awesome.
jerk. He's like, ha ha.
You root for the bad guys in movies, don't you?
I do because they're the coolest designed ones.
But yeah, to me, that claymation stuff, that is the meaning of Christmas. So,
Yeah, no, there's something about it. When it comes on, you're just sort of like, especially for people like us that have lived a fair amount of years where we're like, we grew up with it, it's existed before us all our life and after us, and yeah, will after us. They're just like very cool time capsules. And also, you can't help but to like, when you see like the values of the time slip in, like if you do watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and you're like, are we really like making fun of someone because they want to be a dentist? Like, as like,
Yup.
they hated dentists back then.
They
Anti-dentites.
yeah, and it's like, and they make Hermes like a little bit like, you know, like dainty, and it's like they're using it to make fun of him, and I'm like, yeah, this was a different time. This is a harder time for people.
It's okay. It's alright. It's gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm. It,
gonna be
ended up,
okay.
it ended up okay.
You can have a big ol' honker and still be cool.
As long
I
as
mean,
you
if you
can
looked at
guide
his
us
nose, because the claymation, because they had to fit like a light bulb in the claymation as his nose, it's like his nose is actually irregularly, like, you know, massively bigger than the little black noses of the Nazis. I'm like, he's just cute.
They're much
Oh,
cooler. I
no.
don't mind it. I think we look cool in the dark.
Oh my god.
Oh, tinsel's gone.
Yeah, tinsel wasn't gonna
That's
stay.
alright.
It knows.
You ever see the when Family Guy makes fun of it? They got Rudolph on the doctor's table, and then the doctor's like, "I'm sorry, Rudolph, I have bad news for you, but it's actually a tumor on your nose." And
Yes,
he's like,
I've
"A
seen that.
magical, happy, fun tumor," and he's like, "No, you're gonna die."
Oh my god, it's brutal.
Poor Rudolph.
So I would say number 5, and this is like straight up Christmas tradition watch stuff. Trans-Siberian Orchestra goes to Christmas Eve. It's like this, like hour-long special. Had the legendary Ossie Davis in it, and it's cheesy as hell. But man, they can crank out some cool music. The Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And if you've ever seen them live, they use a lot of fire.
Oh, they do. They do. I do like them. I haven't seen them in years. But every time they come up, I'm like, oh, I know it's Christmas because that's like the only Christmas music I listen to.
Well, a handful of them have passed on.
Yeah.
I think in the last like 3
But I will
4 years.
actively search for like Trans-Siberian Orchestra Christmas music because for some reason I'm not a huge fan of Christmas music in general. Because people play it over and over and I hear it in the stores and I'm just sort of like, Mariah Carey, go back to sleep. Please sleep for another.
Listen to it for a week.
Yeah, you need to get in at the end.
Yeah, it's when people started in like October. That's the problem.
Well, watch The Ghost of Christmas Eve because it's actually kind of adorable.
I love Ossie Davis. So.
Yeah, who doesn't love Ossie Davis?
Yeah.
Bubba Hotep, dude's a legend.
I didn't really think of a list, so I'm just gonna go off the top of my head. So we'll say number 5, just because it's on my head, on my brain. The Night Before, with Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. What's his name's in it too? The guy, he's an underrated actor, Michael Shannon.
Oh, I love Michael Shannon.
Very underrated actor. It's hilarious. There's one scene where Seth Rogen has taken a lot of substances, and he gets separated from his friends. He winds up outside of a church that's about to conduct the midnight mass. He's asking somebody for directions. You find out that it's actually a Jesus statue that he's talking to. And then he goes into the church and hilarity ensues. There's a scene with a baby where, it's very Omen-esque and it just makes me laugh every single time.
I've never seen it.
Yeah,
clearly I have to see it.
Yeah,
I hear Omen and I'm like,
Excuse me. It really is hilarious. So highly recommend for those of you that are adult enough to watch it.
So I also don't really have much. I know what my number 1 is, but as far as any other, I don't tend to watch Christmas movies because they're not as scary. And
let's just do a top 3 then, so we don't have
I'll just if I come up with something off the top of my head, I'll say it. I would say I'm a huge fan of like The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, God.
Yes.
It's
That's
something
on my
I watch.
list. Very high.
That's also on my list. That was number 2 in my head that I just did.
Yeah, no, I was like, it's a family tradition of mine in North Carolina. Where we will like binge watch the whole movie like several times while we're like putting ornaments on the tree and stuff like that.
Funny.
It's so good.
Yeah.
The music is fun. The Muppets are just such a fun, classic, all-around good family thing, and we're huge Muppet fans. So it's one of those things where it's like we all enjoyed it. It's cute. It's fun. Also, Michael Caine is always a really good actor.
Best Scrooge.
Yeah.
He was a good Scrooge. He was definitely creepy Scrooge guy. I don't know how many. I think Disney's done like 3 or 4 different renditions of A Christmas Carol.
Probably. That's the best one.
Yeah,
they did one with Jim Carrey.
That one's
They've done
scary.
the Mickey Christmas Carol, which is cute too.
The Jim Carrey one I actually kind of loved. I feel
it was really well done.
That came out in like 2009, and all the talk was like Avatar. Like the 3D experience of Avatar, but honestly, I think the 3D experience in theaters with the Christmas Carol was like just
the graphics are practically
better.
on par with like Polar Express when that came out.
Yeah, they were both Zemeckis.
Yeah,
Yes.
all 3, and Beowulf in between.
His animation just something about it upsets me. I can't explain it.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it was the dead eyes, right? Everyone's talking about the dead eyes, but like he did like advance that technology. Granted, no one ended up really wanting the technology, but what is Zemeckis always is like pushing the technology forward.
Oh yeah.
Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol, yeah, it has some like annoying like Disney roller coastery things about it that like I don't
because
love,
I think the whole effect is that every time you see a Christmas Carol is that like he's supposed to be flying as a spirit, and so they're always going to come up with some weird.
Well, that was very pretty, but there's like at the end when he's trying to get away from like the Ghost of Christmas Past, he's like log riding a glass bottle, and like it's
Oh,
just yeah.
But what was really cool about Muppet Christmas, I don't know if you ever watched behind the scenes of a Muppet Christmas Carol and how they got some of the ghost Muppets to really reflect, but the Ghost of Christmas Past was the first Muppet they ever submerged in water to get that kind of like ghostly, glow and effect on it. And they said they had a hard time with that one, but the results were fantastic. Mm-hmm. And I think the designs of all the spirits, like you get to see present, is like he's constantly dying because the present is always like only in a day.
Also, what a great song, "Ghost of Christmas Present."
That one has such I think like the best Christmas song.
Yeah.
So it reflects everything that Christmas should be. It's about the family and the giving and.
The Marley and Marley song is great.
Oh.
It's just good stuff. My favorite part of that movie is when the Ghost of Christmas Past takes him back to the school, and the headmaster is talking to him.
The British way or the American
yes,
way?
I love that.
I mean, the British way. That's such a fun scene.
Gonzo just like whispers in his ear. He's like, the British way. I love that part.
It's such a fun and such
stuff.
a good movie. It's on par like every year. Like they have like a Christmas Story on TBS. Yeah. They would do like the 24-hour marathon. I usually pick between the two. I'm like, okay, one day we're gonna do this as a marathon. This day we're doing this as a marathon, or vice versa, depending on the day. So I would say one of the big movies I really enjoy for Christmas is definitely Muppet Christmas Carol. So
very good.
Yeah.
All right. My next pick, more of an unconventional one, but by Timmy the Boy Burton, Batman Returns.
Hey,
it's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
And it's out of its mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe the darkest Tim Burton went, I feel like.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Batman fries a dude with his car.
And then he smiles about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a Batman movie so much as it's just maniacs chasing each other, but it's an amazing time. The set design is absolutely just like some of the best ever.
And probably the best soundtrack, like flat out for like Batman movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tim
And I'm
Burton is,
counting
like,
the
my
Hans
favorite
Zimmer scores in
director,
that. Like,
so-
No, Danny Elfman.
He's a genius.
Yeah. His Batman themes are the best.
that opening Oswald Cobblepot as a baby sequence is just like breathtakingly creepy and upsetting and just so Christmassy.
Pee Wee Herman showing up.
Well, they're friends. Anybody Tim Burton puts in his films, they have like a really good relationship, which is kind of crazy.
Are you saying he's friends with Helena Bonham Carter?
I think they might like each other.
No, not
He's in
anymore.
all of his movies?
Not anymore.
Well, yeah, not anymore, I guess, right?
They did.
Oh.
No, they're separated. They're no longer. They weren't. It was weird. They weren't married. They were like
Together forever.
Very close
together,
friends.
and then they ended it. And I was actually very upset that day when I found out. I was like, "Excuse me, what?"
Although it was strange, like they ended it, and all of a sudden, Helena Bonham Carter like became the most glamorous woman on earth again.
Well, after she was still with him when she did the Harry Potter films, and it was
Mhm.
around that time she had been actually getting other roles outside of like Tim Burton films, and she had been like, I forget some of the other roles, but I can like visualize them all in my head, and I love her. I think she's like the perfect amount of crazy, but even when she wants to be serious, she can be very serious. I think she's such a ranged person.
She steals every season of The Crown.
Who is she in The Crown?
She's Sister Margaret. I mean, she's
Oh.
only in 2 seasons, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Princess Margaret. By that.
Princess.
Yeah. Are we done talking about Batman? Because God, I love talking about Batman.
I just want to say the snow in that movie, beautiful.
Yeah.
Real fake snow. You can't beat it.
It looks like the stuff they used in like Edward Scissorhands a little bit.
Yes. Yeah.
Another Tim Burton-y Christmassy movie.
Tim
And,
Burton likes Christmas.
yeah, he loves
And horror.
Christmas and monsters.
Yeah, I actually have. He did like a show in MoMA. I have the book with all his like work in
I
it.
remember that, the sketches.
I
Yeah.
refuse to touch it with my bare hands. I have a pair of gloves for it. I'm like, my oils ain't getting on these pages. I'm a
Yeah.
huge collector.
Man, Batman Returns. That was. I don't even think at this point you should even like qualify it as like unconventional. I think it's been fully embraced as like a flat out Christmas movie.
I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
glad because, man, the penguin scene towards the end, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's the strangest thing, but God, it makes me tear up every time.
So let's put a debate to bed right now. Die Hard, is that a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like Die Hard.
What?
I can't do it.
Oh, I like
I don't love Die Hard.
Really?
I love the third one. I don't love the first or second one.
Which is the third one? Is that the one with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yep.
That one's good.
Yep. And Jeremy Irons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Die Hard's a Christmas movie. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not like. It's not one of the ones that got me as a kid. You know, like it didn't hit. Wasn't on my radar. Didn't mean a lot to me. So as a grown up, it also doesn't mean a lot to me.
Oh.
And also, there's no way that gun would have stuck on his back with that tape. He was too sweaty and too covered in blood and muck.
No way nobody heard
No
him
way.
in those vents.
Yeah. All right. Christmas movie that I think is magnificent that you all need to run out and see. The Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Ooh,
Jim
sounds
Cummings.
spooky.
It came out in 2020.
I do like Jim Cummings.
This Jim Cummings is like, I feel like,
He's underrated.
Well,
I feel
yeah.
like people
True
don't
geniuses.
utilize him enough. He's
I was-
so good. I
well,
remember
he's still pretty new to the game. I
he
think.
shouldn't be though, because as a kid, like he was in Spy Kids, and he played Floop.
I did not know that.
Yes,
did not
he
know
played
that either.
Floop.
Who's Floop?
Floop was the bad guy
In Spy Kids?
in Spy Kids. He was the guy who created like this like kids show that they were trying to go after.
Good lord. No, I first saw
He
him.
spans such.
Thunder Road was like the first movie I ever saw him in.
Yeah.
And honestly, Wolf of Snow Hollow and Thunder Road are like,
He was in Josie and the Pussycats,
Oh
the
my
live
God.
action. He played their producer, the guy with the little glasses who followed them around.
God.
I don't think I remember that movie enough.
Yo, I love Josie and the Pussycats. It does not hold up as well anymore, but at the same time, the music for it was so good.
Well, as a writer-director, Jim Cummings is like, his some of the best dialogue, like, outside of Quentin Tarantino, belongs to him. And his own performances in his movies are just like, you fall right in love with the guy because he's so like, I don't know, like he's so engaged and energetic, and there's so many things going on in his like manic mind at one time when you're watching his performances. And Wolf of Snow Hollow is just this really cool, hilarious, kind of scary murder mystery. It takes place in like, I don't know, maybe somewhere in Colorado or Utah or something like that. I think it might be Utah. It's gorgeous. It looks beautiful, and it's wonderful. Watch it.
It was Robert Forster's last role, right?
Robert Forster's last role, and he did a wonderful job in it. And yeah, can't recommend it enough.
I need to check it out. I loved Thunder Road, so
Yes.
I think I'm going to click with Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Watch it the moment this podcast ends.
I guess because it doesn't sound like we're doing like a traditional top 5, so I'm just gonna jump ahead.
How about just kind of talk about Christmas movies that you feel like?
I'm gonna say because it's a tradition every year. I watch it on Christmas Eve. The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. It's good.
It's
good.
it's good.
You know, it's almost like it's something I do every year now. That I think I love it just based on the tradition of doing it on Christmas Eve every year. I'm not sure of like it doesn't like when you say favorite Christmas movies, like Muppet Christmas Carol jumps to my head instantly.
no.
You know what I mean? But the Santa Claus, I think, for me, holds a very special place because it's what we always did on Christmas Eve. Like,
I think it was the quintessential Christmas movie for a very long
I
time.
saw the first two growing up so much.
Yeah.
They were always on ABC Family, and
Yeah.
so it was just
Yeah. So Christmas Eve we used to go to my grandmother's, and you know we would have of course this big Italian meal and everything, the 7 fishes and all that stuff, and then we would open presents after that. I used to get so excited that every year I would throw up.
Yes.
And there was one year
Boy, you gotta pace
There
yourself.
was one year, before we even ate, I mean,
Just
it
nerves.
didn't have anything
Yeah.
to do with food or anything. There was one year she had gotten like a brand new couch and a brand new rug over both of them.
Ooh.
Before anything, to this day, I tell my uncle and everyone, I say, you guys should have just let me open presents first. And they were like, no, it was fun. Thanks.
No, I get that. I
I
have the
hope
same
they're
like,
watching.
nerves and anxiety about Christmas
Yeah.
Eve and Christmas morning. Could never sleep.
Yeah.
Oh,
He remembers. He knows what he
Never
did.
slept. I would always wake up at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
and just go out and look at the presents.
Sit
Yeah.
on the chair and shake.
Yeah.
I used to
what
wake up
mine
really
is.
early and I would go and I'd play the shake game,
Yeah.
where I would lightly shake a thing, or I'd feel around the packaging and I'd be like, oh yeah, that's a book. Yes.
Oh, it's a puppy.
No! Unfortunately, no. So, another Christmas movie I think is highly underrated, but it's been getting some traction over the years. Tokyo Godfathers by Satoshi Kon. It is an anime film. We do have it here at the library. I feel like it's so, anime films in America for a long time, except for the past 2 years, because COVID increased anime sales in the US and viewership, because everyone stayed inside. For those of you who don't know, Satoshi Kon created a movie that was very popular that actually inspired Inception, which was Paprika. And before Paprika came out, he came out with a movie called Tokyo Godfathers, which is kind of like the nativity story, but told from the perspective of 3 homeless people who find a baby. And it's all about how, it's about family. And it's about,
Like
what
Fast
makes
and
us
Furious.
different and stuff. It's about that. But it's a beautifully, Satoshi Kon always plays, I think he's not the writer of Tokyo Godfathers, he is the director, but his directorial style is so iconic in anime films that I feel like they inspire so much in filming by itself. Like, as I said, Inception was inspired by Paprika. A lot of the scenes, if you actually side by side compare, there's that scene in Inception where they're in the hallway and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's just like struggling. That's an exact scene from like Paprika. It's all there.
Every comparison I've seen between Paprika and Inception, it's always just like, oh, Paprika looks way better.
And Satoshi always has this one this one guy who does all his the music for his films, and I forget his name, but it's absolutely gorgeous. The parade music is probably the most famous one for Paprika. But Tokyo Godfathers is a Christmas movie. I highly recommend it. It keeps the spirit of Christmas and what Christmas is about, which is usually about togetherness and being family. And even if you're not blood related, you can still be family and find love with those around you. Even if you're not well off, it's not about, what you get or what you give. It's about the love that you share with everybody else. So it is a beautiful, beautifully animated film
Yeah,
for
tattoo
adults
that on
and
me.
children. I highly recommend it. Please don't sleep on it because it deserves a lot more love than it
And
currently
then watch Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress.
And if you like Perfect Blue, you should go read the books, which we don't have.
I
but I have
am
them.
a heathen, and I haven't seen any Satoshi Kon, but I
If you-
think Tokyo Godfathers might be my first.
We have it here at the Mayapack Library, as well as I'm sure a lot of the movies that we're saying today.
Yes.
Mainly they're found in the children's section, as Christmas movies tend to fall under children movies. But Tokyo Godfathers is actually in our graphic novel section, but you can always ask any of the librarians to come grab it. So yeah.
All right. I'm going to go a little rogue and recommend a New Year's movie for when you're done with Christmas and you
Oh,
still
God,
need
Wild
something
Card.
to watch. Yep, going for the wild card. Phantom Thread, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh, that was such a good movie.
It's so good.
I haven't seen it. That's the
mean-
one where Daniel Day-Lewis makes dresses.
Yes. And from that description, I think sometimes people get the impression like, oh, this is just some Oscar Beatty movie. It is
No.
not that at all. It is very weird and very funny.
It's so about the obsession. I love it. Oh God, it was one of those movies I picked out definitely and was like, this seems weird. Let's go for it. It had the word phantom in it, so I was like, ooh.
Reynolds Woodcock is one of the funniest characters. He's just this little boy man played so expertly by Daniel Day-Lewis. He's just extremely fussy. And Vicky Creeps is his new love interest, Alma. And he sort of has a pattern of dating women and then just sort of using them for inspiration and then discarding them.
She won't let it.
Yes, she fights back in her own very interesting way. And
I loved how it ended. I love that it began how it ended. I
My-
always love that.
it was one of my best theater experiences because, like, I feel like a lot of times when you go and see like indie kind of movies in theaters, like sometimes the crowds can be either like dead or like there's like one guy who keeps laughing to show like I'm clever and I understand it.
Like a witty laugh.
Yeah, but the entire audience was just absolutely enthralled, and at the end, there's a sort of reveal scene towards the end. Everybody just lost their minds, just cackling and just like screaming at the screen. Amazing experience. I highly recommend it, and has one of the most beautiful New Year's Eve sequences I've ever seen in any film.
I'm on it. I'm ashamed that I haven't seen it yet.
It was a
Same.
movie night pick for me that I made Brian's parents watch, and nobody liked it besides me because they didn't get it. They were like, and I was just like, that was so good, and then they were just like,
How do you not like... Do you have a gun? Are you an agent? Are you sent here to kill me? Where's your gun?
I feel like it went a little. But it's definitely a movie worth checking. But you have to pay attention to it. You have to like pay attention because there are movies sometimes when I'm like, I'll be on my phone. I'm like, I can watch this and be on my phone. This movie you can't be on your phone.
No, you can't. No, you can't. There is no single movie that exists in the world that you can watch if you're on your phone because you're not watching the movie. If you're looking away from the movie, you're not watching the movie.
Agreed.
Just
You're not
because it's a
watching
bad movie then.
Agreed.
You can't even say it's a bad movie because you're not watching it. You can't say that.
I agree, but I still have the terrible habit of just checking my phone.
If you've seen it already, then fine. First time, watch the movie. Oh my god, I'm gonna go run out the window.
But at least I attempt to watch the movies.
Not
I
an
don't
attempt.
skip scenes.
If it's skipping a scene if you're not looking at it. You and Simona are guilty. Guilty.
Green Knight I did. And I looked away for 2 seconds because
And you
someone
missed,
texted me.
very
A very weird scene. Clearly, like the one time I looked away for like 1 second, it was like,
Boom!
well, I clearly missed that. Because there was a scene that was dragging, and I was just like, okay, all right, I get it. I watched it for a while, and I was like, oh, hold on, Brian's calling me, and then it was like, well, clearly something.
Which scene?
I don't know.
Please cut that out.
Cut that out. I don't know the sexy scene.
The sex scene.
I was the sex scene.
Yeah.
I was watching it and watching it and watching it, but
I mean, it didn't take.
I missed
Did you
the
watch
one part of it.
You watched that scene over and over again?
That scene didn't take very
No,
long.
I watched the scene and it was like, it was a pretty drawn out scene, and I was paying attention for the most part, but I guess the finish scene
Yeah.
I missed.
There's no.
I don't know any way to say it.
There's no paying attention for the most part. That just means you're not paying attention. Oh God.
I knew
can't
what
do
was
this.
going on, but I clearly missed the last bit of it, and I was just like, oh. I looked away for 1 second, and then it was like,
That
and
was
then you
the
guys
best.
were talking about it, and I was just like,
Because not only did that happen, but then she's like, "You're no hero." So she like
I saw
got
that.
him
That's
and
when I
then
came
told
back
him he
up.
was no good.
That's when I
She's
came
a
back up.
silky
I was
old
like,
lady.
I literally looked away for 2 seconds, missed the one little tiny piece, and then I was like, I knew what happened because I heard it, and I was like, oh, I know. And then she was like, you're no hero. And I watched that, that tiny little interval.
Poor Gawain. Poor
Poor
Gawain.
Gawain. No. That is a Christmas movie too,
That
guys.
is
The
a
Green
Christmas
Knight.
movie,
We did a
yeah.
podcast on it, so if you are interested, please check it out. We have it here too.
And
the
don't
books.
look at your phone. And don't
Yeah, try
fast
not to,
forward
because then you'll miss
scenes.
something, and then you'll regret it because people will talk about it, and then you'll be like, well.
All right, this will be my last actual Christmas movie that I recommend. Watching it basically every year since 2013. It's called The Fitzgerald Family Christmas. It's an Ed Burns film, and if you're familiar with Ed Burns' own movies, he basically shoestring budgets these Irish-American dysfunctional family movies that all take place like in around Queens, Lower Westchester, New York City. He has his style, and I think it actually, he basically was put on the map about almost 30 years ago for this movie called The Brothers McMullen, which is the same thing. Dysfunctional Irish-American family. He basically shot it on a camcorder in his house. Like it's he has a style that you'll either love or hate right away, but his anyone who has the, you know, loving dysfunctional family will immediately like be kind of drawn into his movies. And this one is about like errant father who wants to come home for Christmas after leaving the whole family behind for years and years and years, and it's just got like, it's got that Ed Burns magic. It's very much an Irish-American Christmas movie. And just the little things that he probably doesn't even realize he's doing, because he's just filming like his own experience in some ways, I think. Like a whole family gathered in a kitchen, just like 2 people sitting on the counter, 2 people sitting on the floor, 1 person sitting in the chair, all together in their pajamas. Like all these things, like they just, it works. It's actually a very romantic film. And just, it's very darkly funny. Worth your time.
I've never heard of it, but I do like Irish things.
It's Irish American, so it's not like Irish. It's like that,
Here.
you know, Irish person who lives in like Woodlawn whose grandpa was Irish.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna keep it classic, I think, and gonna throw out Miracle on 34th Street and It's a Wonderful Life. Just classic Christmas movies with good messages of love and faith, and maybe not faith, maybe that's the wrong word. But,
A Wonderful Life is more about faith than, or maybe, I don't know. Those are 2 movies I can't
believing in something.
Now, see, I love It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart is like kind of deranged in that movie, and like the whole first half is like young George Bailey is like, dude is sort of just electric. He's like manic, and I don't know. There's a real beating heart to him, and
yeah, it really makes you, you know, think of. And it's like Christmas, but like you were saying with the other movie, it's like really the real meaning of Christmas, not the Santa Claus meaning of Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's you know.
And it is just, it is nice, like looking back at those times.
Yeah.
Which is something that, you know, especially with how digitally advanced we are and how we communicate and how we get around, like we can have a Christmas dinner with people on Zoom. Yeah, like just how
it's just a mukbang at that point.
Yeah, how close knit everyone is. I don't know. Yeah, I that movie has an appeal. I don't like that the bastard gets away with it in the end, but the movie has an appeal. Of course, for sure.
To kind of, sorry, my other 2 favorites are Night Before Christmas will always be my number 1 because it's both a Halloween movie and a Christmas movie, and I like creepy things.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Tim Burton, and Tim Burton's my favorite director. Although he did not direct Night Before Christmas, he did produce it and he created it, but didn't direct it. Hence why when people say he directed Coraline, I'm like, no, he didn't.
Henry Selick.
No, he didn't. So he just created it. And I do. You were talking about the claymation, the old school claymation. My favorite one every year is always A Year Without a Santa Claus because I love Snow Miser and I love Heat Misers and their songs. Just so catchy. I've already got it like in my head already. I'm over here like I used to get up every year and I would just dance to it. And then I remember I got the plushies and I was just like, heck yeah. They're just the coolest. And Mrs. Claus was finally had a role in something and she was like, let's go talk to him.
They let Mrs. Claus actually be a character in that one.
Right? And they didn't focus on Rudolph. They focused on like baby reindeer and stuff like that. Reindeer in training. And I was like, the elves came back and I was like, it's such a good one.
And they just like hang out in that southern town for a while, and it's just like, oh.
I like it when it goes dark. I think we look cool in the dark. All right.
We need flashlights to hold under her face.
Off the top of your head, your last few.
Ooh,
I'm back.
pass.
All right.
Pass.
You know, for some reason, when we've been having this conversation, a lot of other movies have been coming into my mind.
Yeah.
So, Goodfellas came into my mind, Blue Valentine came into my mind, and
Oh.
American Beauty came into my mind. And none of them are Christmas movies, although Goodfellas does have the one Christmas part.
I like the tree in that
Yeah.
movie a
If
lot.
you want to feel really bad, watch Blue Valentine.
Yeah, oh yeah, let's talk about a
I'm going for it.
depressing movie.
I'm going for it.
Blue Valentine and Revolutionary Road back to back. You want to just
Yeah.
you want to have a bad week? Start off with those two.
Aw,
Do it after
yeah.
Christmas. Don't depress your Christmas.
All right. Greta Gerwig's Little Women.
I
Yes.
love Greta Gerwig.
Amazing. Not technically a Christmas movie, but it gives you the vibe. This one's not a great movie, but it's kind of gorgeous, and I watch it around Christmas every year. Tron Legacy,
Ah, Tron.
just one of the best soundtracks you'll ever hear.
Disney, give me the third one, please.
Yeah, we
I
deserve it.
implore
Yeah, we
you. You
deserve it.
put it under the table.
They broke up
Give
though.
it to me.
Oh.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
Netflix broke up.
Jesus, I forgot.
Stop. I
all right,
watched that video.
And positively a wonderful movie to watch around Christmas. The Two Towers. I know if I had to go on Lord of the Rings,
Right.
The Two Towers would be the
the whole
ultimate.
series is a Christmas movie for
Watch the
me.
whole thing at Christmas.
All right.
Oh yeah,
Great.
3-hour uncut.
And don't hate me for this one, but The Force Awakens.
Go ahead.
Just-
Star Wars has always come out during Christmas time. The same with Harry Potter
There's a
and stuff like
lightsaber
that. So I
battle
was
in
like,
the snow, and that's as Christmassy as you can get.
I'm for it. I'm either like we do like the Lord of the Rings, the Star Wars, or the Harry Potters. Like we do them like all like each month. It's like literally that's all we do every month.
And that's it. That's what I got. But Greta Gerwig's Little Women,
Yeah.
amazing.
Have you seen Frances Ha?
Yeah, I've seen everything
Oh,
Greta
yeah,
Gerwig's
great.
ever done. She's
It's just, I think that was that Adam Driver's first movie too. Or
One of his
did-
first big roles, I think.
Yeah,
It might have been
Girls,
after
right?
he was in Girls,
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah, that was just so good.
yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, she's
I like
great.
all the stuff her and Baumbach collaborated on
Yeah.
is pretty excellent.
Yeah,
hmm
yeah.
I'm
Not
a big-
Christmassy though, but
Yeah.
or holiday.
I think the first time I ever
Well,
saw
sometimes
Adam
it doesn't have to be set in the winter for it to be Christmas, as long as it like represents the Christmas.
Yeah, and
That's
if
how I
something
feel.
comes out around Christmas, I mean, to me it's a
Like
Christmas
Harry
movie.
Potter does not revolve around Christmas, but at the same
Oh,
time,
Christmas
it
torch,
does
yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
family. It has a Christmas scene in it
But like
because it's usually the biggest one of the big parts of Harry Potter is the year.
Rocky movies, they're not Christmas movies,
But they're set in the winter.
totally
But
like
they're
a
about
James Bond movies, not holiday movies, but they always show up around November.
That's true.
So they're just they use.
It's the big blockbuster time to drop.
Yeah.
Movies because they know there are some people who don't celebrate Christmas and they're gonna go to the movies anyways.
But that was yeah. There's what's another one? What's a good final one?
Well,
Ridley
it's funny.
Scott's
Ooh.
Kingdom of Heaven. Not a Christmas movie. Came out in May, but still totally works for Christmas. It's a big, giant, historical epic with sweeping vistas and music that is like very thrilling. And yeah, I'm done.
Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Is just
Not Christmassy at
the
all.
greatest.
But yeah, no, that's his best movie.
Gives you the
That's my
vibe
take.
of Christmas.
We're gonna have to
because
have-
it talks about believing in something.
We're going to need to have an actual podcast to debate what is actually Quentin Tarantino's best movie because, yes,
It's a tough one.
it is Django Unchained. Yes, it is Inglourious Bastards. Yes, it is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yes, it is also Pulp Fiction.
Kill
Yes,
Bill.
it's also Kill Bill Volume 2. Like, what do we...
Don't
There's...
forget Jackie Brown. Don't sleep on
Underrated.
that.
It's also Jackie...
Amazing film.
We're going to have a long debate on what is actually Quentin Tarantino's best film because they're all his best film.
Yeah.
Except Hateful Eight. Except Hateful Eight
Yeah.
until you watch the Netflix extended version,
Which I
which
still
is
have not.
actually incredible.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I could not get into Hateful Eight in the theater.
Death Proof.
I like
Amazing.
that proof.
So I don't know. That's a long story. The only one that I think it's disqualified is Reservoir Dogs.
You don't like Reservoir Dogs?
See?
I like
There's always
Reservoir
gonna be
Dogs a
someone-
lot.
See?
Yeah.
You can't disqualify
This
any
is like a
Quentin
Nicolas
Tarantino
Cage
movie.
argument too. I'm like,
Nicolas Cage's best movie?
oh my god.
Yeah, Mandy.
You
I
know,
don't like Mandy that much.
I just watched
actually.
Willy's Wonderland.
I meant Moonstruck.
Moonstruck is amazing.
I feel like there should just be a
Watch
podcast.
that for Christmas, honestly.
I feel like there should just be a podcast about Nick Cage, because how many movies was he in this year? Literally, that popped at like 6 or 8 that I can name off the top of my
Color
head.
Out of Space was legitimately cool.
Yeah, that one
And if you
rocks.
haven't read the H.P. Lovecraft story that it's based on, you'll find that it was a very, very good adaptation, probably the best adaptation of his short story, and possibly one of the best modern renditions of it, because it still stayed true to the story.
So
And he
until
was crazy enough to
so
just-
we have now debates for our next few podcasts: Nicolas Cage movies, and what's the best Tarantino, which we could argue about for 4 podcasts.
We could. We've got some ideas, and we're always looking for more coming into the new year, especially. New movies will come out. There are movies we still haven't seen. Still things to talk about. So
Enjoy
this
your
has
holiday.
been,
Sorry to
enjoy your
interrupt.
holiday. We'll be back next week with another episode talking about our favorite movies of 2021. If you have any favorite movies you would like to share with us that you really enjoy to watch during Christmas or the holidays, please leave a comment below or let us know.
You know, it'd be pretty sweet too. Gaming podcast. Favorite gaming.
Ooh, I always enjoy watching E3, so
Yeah. Something to think
it'll ever
about.
happen again.
I'll end up just talking about Metal Gear Solid for way too long.
Which Metal Gear Solid? 2, 3, 4, 5?
2's my favorite, I think.
Yeah, I'm all for Raiden. I think
I love
is
Raiden.
actually a great character.
Yeah, he's hysterical.
You make no sense.
Anyways,
Sorry.
have a happy holidays. We'll see you next week. Please be sure to leave us a comment, like, subscribe to catch up with us. And if you haven't gotten your packet to play along with the game today, please come to the Maypack Library and we can always print you off another one, even if you were late. The podcast is eternal and will stay on the internet
Yes.
for as long
Our-
as we know.
Our goal is to double our viewership. We want 60.
I thought you were going to say
Go.
6.
Anyways, have a good holiday, everybody.
Happy holidays!